Hi folks, I'm James. Let's have a quick look around at what's going on this morning. Let's start with natural gas. Let's have a look. And oil, while we're on the same page, I suppose. Here's natural gas. We had a slight gap up on Sunday night when the market opened. Took us back into the layer between the 20 and the 50 period moving average, and the 200 is now above us too. So there's the intersection of the 20 and the 200. There's the 50, the red one, and we've just dropped below it in the last couple of hours. That candle on Sunday night gapped up to the 20 and the 200 confluence, a resistance level, slammed back down, spiked up, and we're still above the bottom and below the top. So the last 3-4 hour candles have done nothing really, and we're still holding the support. Right, so I'm going to refer you to last night's live stream. Go and check that out. I'll put the link up above us right now and at the end of the video, and you can look at that video for the deep dive on natural gas. So I'm not going to do that today. We've got other things to cover. So in summary, I'm still long, but I'll hedge below the 100 period moving average and that swing low at about 2.95 or 2.97, and also allow for a dip down back down to this lower level, potential double bottom and a bounce out of there. My overall idea for natural gas remains bullish, but once again, I'll refer you to the live stream yesterday to have a look at that in more detail. Same with crude oil. I covered both of these in some detail in that video, so check it out once again. And we're still below the wedge top, the underside of both rising trend lines which form this wedge, and we rejected quite sharply at the open with a bit of a spike up. It looks like the Iranians have completely changed their tune and that the straits might be a little bit more safe than we thought. I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff going on right now at the moment as we're talking, but it looks like a deal might be struck, believe it or not. Leave Karg Island alone now that the military's been removed from Karg Island. It's vulnerable, and we won't attack the straits. Maybe something like that. I don't know. It's very interesting. Nevertheless, oil is moving down, has not closed above the 618 fib, and I did explain these various levels in detail in the live stream. Once again, check that out. I'm still long on URA and LIT, uranium and lithium, looking to get longer on both of those. Let's switch right across back to the dollar. Dollar is moving down. Once again, I covered this in the live stream last night. Check it out. Dollar moving down. We got up through the 200 period moving average, through the resistance level and this triple top, but only to the very skinny next resistance level just above there, which is depicted by the skinny line higher up and also these little swing highs, the feathering into that higher level. That's where we got to, and we've moved down. We do need the dollar to move down in order to stabilize these markets in general, and I think this has got a good chance. We're short on the dollar, but a very tiny amount. I'm looking to get shorter, and today might be the day, depending on how today's candle closes. If this forms an engulfing candle, and in other words, engulfs the entire bullish candle from Friday, I'll probably add some more shorts. If we don't, and we just get an inside day, I'll probably wait one more day to see what happens next. So that's the dollar, and as the dollar is moving down, we're seeing some propulsion upward in stock indices, and here's the NASDAQ. We'll switch across to the S&P, bouncing off that level, which once again I spoke about in the live stream, which is linked at the end of this video. And what's super interesting here is we did not spike down on the next day like we did previously. I pointed all this out in the live stream, but we actually gapped down and surged back up to close the gap, and now the entire body of the previous day's candle. That was Friday. So quite a bullish reversal. Two shaven bottom candles, one bearish, and today's bullish. And if this candle today looks like this and closes like this, it's a pretty good sign overall. Same on the S&P, very, very similar picture, with two shaven bottom candles, one on Friday, which was a bearish one, and then one today so far. Today's not complete, of course, we've got lots of time to go. But so far, a piercing pattern reversal candle with two, a bearish followed by a bullish shaven bottom. So quite bullish actually, and this is exactly what I said might happen today and at the open. So if you've decided to go short on this and bag hold those shorts, and I did put a warning out, be a little bit careful. We might go short, I don't know, but if this spurts up and we get a real sort of wind in our sails, a real bee in the bonnet, and these markets get a wiggle on this week, don't be caught short. All right, now let's look at Bitcoin. Of course, we spoke about this as well in the live stream, and this is doing super well. Today, yet another higher high and higher low so far, and also breaking up through that level. I think we're going up to 80, to the trend line, to the 100 period moving average. I explained that we could go a little higher, up to about 84. Once again, please check out the live stream. It's really important that you look at that. And then here on the futures chart, you can see that we're now entering the empty zone. Next stop is the bottom of the CME gap, the 50 period moving average here on the day chart. And that's at about 78.5, 79, and then 81-ish at the top of the CME gap. That's where the trend line is on the spot price. And with a bit of vigor and with a bit of momentum, we could get all the way up to 84 and the 100 period moving average and the top of the empty zone, waiting to pounce into the volume zone. I think it'll be pretty difficult to get through there on first attempt. So that's it. I remain long, and actually today's chart's looking fantastic. We've made a higher high and defeated that double top. All that remains now is for us to get up to the trend line and that 80-ish level, 80.5, and I'll probably look at hedging. Notice it's also the underside roughly of this sort of ledge just before we enter the volume zone. So a really, really key level. And of course, if we do push up through the trend line, aim for the point of control here at the bottom of this range. And that you can see here on the right-hand side of the chart with the visible range volume profile showing the point of control on this chart at 87,500, 87.5K. So that's Bitcoin. And then metals, just to emphasize really what we've got going on. I think you know this already. I'm short on gold, looking for a move down to about 4,850 and potentially down to 4,580, something like that. And there's all sorts of other support down below with two ascending triangles that we broke out over there and over there. And, you know, we could even get back down to either one of these or even both of them. And that could take us all the way back down to 3,500. But I don't really think we're going to get much below 4,500, maybe 4,300 and something. But anyway, we're short on gold. Let's see how that goes. I'll probably add some more sides if that really gets going. I'm still hedged on silver. I think silver will do something similar to gold. And go and check out the live stream to check out the levels and the rationale behind this diagram that I've got on silver. I think that's what's going to happen. And a lot depends on how gold goes too. I've got nothing on platinum, but as I pointed out in the video, I think we might move down to the 200 period moving average down to about 1725. Go and check that out on your own charts. And then finally on this page, I'm long on copper and hoping that this will bounce out. All of these I've discussed in quite a lot of detail over an hour yesterday, so I'm not going to do it again today. Energies, we've talked about oil and natural gas both moving down at the moment. We want oil to move down. We don't want natural gas to move down, but let's see if we can hold support. Otherwise, on natural gas, we're going to have to go down to the bottom here and see if we can double bottom it. WTI looking really good. And with all the news that's coming out of the Straits and the deals that are weird deals with the Karg Island and the Straits and international involvement, etc., trying to get those Straits open, looks like there might be some progress by the looks of this oil chart. And then finally on this page, there's a whole bunch of stuff, VIX coming down. But I think the most interesting chart on this page, apart from the 10-year yield and TLT looking very droopy on treasuries, that's another story which we'll talk about another time. But Bitcoin Gold performing a beautiful weekly reversal here. And that's an inverse hammer candle, that one right in the middle, followed up by a bullish candle a week ago. And this week's candle so far, approaching the short-term moving average and trying to break higher. And I think we'll go up to the gap over here on gold v Bitcoin. And that will push as well, if this does manage to work out, that will continue to push up gold v the dollar on that chart, which I spoke about, into the 80s and potentially mid-80s with a bit of luck. Well, that's all, folks. Have a wonderful trading day. And do remember that we have a 14-day free trial. The link's below this video. Click on the link, check it out. You don't have to pay anything. You can have a look at everything that we do, look at all my trade calls, all my trade alerts, all the results, and ask me anything in the group free of charge. And once the 14 days are up, you could choose to call it a day and walk away, or you can stay on. Purely up to you. All right, well, have a wonderful day, folks, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great trading day. Speak to you soon.
I'm on the floor when the bell starts ringing, Natty on the screen and the bids all swinging. Here comes a shadow in a pinstripe blazer, they whisper,
that's the Eastern geezer.
He slides in slick,
Just a half tick wider.
order so thick,
He could drown us by.
they call him trending salter, liquidity gulper, Mr. Engulfer, market sculptor. Oh, Mr. Engulfer, what you doing to the tape? You twist that curve into a brand new shape, trending salter making chart line scream, grooving Natty right to the